I wasn't in the house, I was on my deck. So when I'm on the deck, that's why I took that picture. Did I ever show you that picture I took of Freddie when he was standing in front of me? How you gonna tell somebody he's fake when you seeing the shit he talking about? That's why Reed wanted me to talk. He wanted me to get out there and be talking to people.
If I don't know you face, then don't come close to me. If I don't know you face, then don't come close to me. If I don't know you face, then don't come close to me.
I never told you about that dude I saw walking towards my back, my deck. Did I ever tell you that? Yeah, I probably didn't want to tell you, Ski. Yeah, one night I stepped out on my deck. Like 1:30, man. This nigga was like 5 feet from my deck. He was walking towards my deck. So when I opened the door, he was right there. Like, I don't know, like, I guess he was about to jump up on my deck. He said that Freddie can come and take you without using the link, man. Remember we was talking about the alien you saw looking at you?
That shit, it wasn't even looking at that shit was right in my fucking face. I was like, you ready to come upstairs? I was literally like, you ready to come up and then I just see this shit right in front of my face, like looking right at me.
I'm starting to get a better picture of me. Spiritual. I'm doing stuff that I ain't supposed to talk about. And that's what I be doing. I've been doing that stuff for a minute. It's progressing, it's picking up and stuff.
Letter opener that's supposed to glow hot coal and stick it down in your head about 3 to 3.5 inches into your skull. That's exactly what that shit felt like. Man, my chest froze up like ice, man. Yeah, I was thinking about 2 minutes later, I'm like, what the hell was that about? The first thing I thought was somebody shot my ass right in the chest. And then that shit started spreading like in all directions from the center out.
Yeah, like the matrix when it moves out.
That's exactly what
Don't come close to me. If I don't know you face, then don't come close to me. If I don't know you face, then don't come close to me. I'm up in the mix of action when niggas wanna kill me.
Still happens to most people after seeing a UFO, any number of soft option kills will do it. Nerve gas, low frequency infrasound beams, hell, with high-powered microwaves, can not only cut enemy communications, you can cook internal organs.
After dealing with the team on the West Coast, I was warned. They told me the people that are close to Jay, they were all tapped. They call it tapped. Tapped is it's a physical procedure that those races, when they're working with people on the surface of the earth, they literally physically tap their brain. Right? I got tapped on the 18th of September 2008. The reason why I remember that day is because I remember that was the first time in my entire life that I said I needed to go to the hospital because the pain was so unbearable that I didn't know what in the world was going on. They physically tapped me and it hurt very, very badly. The description I give in the book that we're writing right now is take a letter opener. You know what a letter opener is? Mm-hmm. Take that, stick it in the fire for an hour, take it out. You see it'll be glowing, the tip of it will be glowing. Take that and stick it down in your head about 3.5 inches. That's what it felt like. After that, after being tapped, I can have people over to the house and they'll be seeing things because these things are coming around physically. They will physically appear, they will come. These things come, I've seen them on the side of my house, I've seen them in front of my deck. I've seen them running across this mound, like the backside of my house. The deck is right there. There's some condos. There's a mound between the condos. I've seen them running across the mound. I've seen them shoot straight up in the sky. I've seen them. Sometimes they appear as light balls. They come down. They're about maybe 30 feet above that roof. They'll be about 30 feet above that roof. They come slowly over the house, and I see this stuff all the time. I've been seeing this stuff for the last 3 years. Like nothing. Nobody seems to care. Hey, what the CD at? I mean, you know what I said? I'm bringing you some footage of some ships. It's air. Who do you have to get the permission to? The dude told me, dude's name is Chris, he's a cameraman. He told me I would have to take it to this person and that person. And to be honest, the more detailed that stuff is, they probably won't air. I was like, man, why don't you just come over to my house and see the stuff for yourself? As far as contact's concerned, what made me think that in the last week, 2 weeks, that it was urgent that I sit down in front of the camera with you to do this because some things have been happening to me physically on a physical level where I just figured I think I'm about to be up out of here. Something's about to happen. I think I'm about to drop dead. I've had 2 months ago an incident happened to me on my deck when I was sitting in my chair because like I said, on a clear night, like tonight it be clear. You better rest assured if you text my phone, I'll be on the deck for at least an hour because I like watching them come over. I was on my deck and I was sitting on my deck and it felt like somebody hit me right here with a high-powered rifle, like I got shot. I didn't hear no crack, I didn't hear no pow or anything. Just right here it felt like I got shot, dead sitting on my chest. So I'm sitting in the chair and I'm looking down, I looked down on my stomach because I thought I was going to see blood. I didn't feel no warm liquid or nothing. So I had a sensation in my chest and it felt like ice. The best way I can describe it is ice forming from the inside out. And I was shaking, I could not move. I tried to get up, I could not move a muscle of my body. I was shaking, and the only thing I could think was, once this, because it was spreading, it was coming from the inside of my body, it was spreading in all directions, forwards, backwards, to side, angles, it was moving outward in every direction, and it was felt like ice. And I was thinking, the first thing I thought was, this is what it feels like to have a heart attack. I am having a heart attack. I'm going to drop dead right here. That's what I was thinking. And the thought of that ice feeling covering my whole body, I was like, once that happens, I'm dead. That's the only thing I could think. I'm going to die. I'm going to die right here on my deck. So I fought, and it took me 3 minutes to finally break out of it. At the 2nd minute mark, I was able to take my hand, because the whole time I'm just like this. I'm like, I can't move, nothing. And I finally was able to break my arms up. I got up out the chair. When I stood up, I couldn't step. It took me another minute to take a step, to turn around, to open my sliding glass door, and get in the kitchen. After I got in the kitchen, I walked through the kitchen, went through the hallway, went around to the right, came and sat down on my couch. The TV's off, the lights on, and I'm just sitting there looking at the blank TV saying, what was that? What was that? I was like, I contemplated in my mind, went over and I was like, I was having a heart attack. I was having a heart attack. And I was like, then I thought, I was like, I don't ever remember hearing in my life somebody fall off a heart attack. Never. So I was like, that wasn't no heart attack. I don't know what that was. That was 2 months ago. Last Tuesday, now I'm sitting on the couch. And I'm just like this, sitting on the couch, watching a movie. And I felt something right here. It didn't feel physical, it felt like light, some type of energy. It was right here, and it moved, and it started moving up. And I was like, for a second, I was like, maybe it'll go away, because it was so small. But when it started growing, I was like, let me get off the couch, too, and let me change my position so this would go away. And I got up. It started coming up. It was coming up into my chest. And when I made that right turn, as soon as I got on my, because I was going to shoot to the bedroom. I didn't even take the notes and turn the TV off. None of that. I was like, my objective was to get to the bed. And whatever's going to happen, I wanted to have my unlaying there. So I'm like thinking, this stuff's going to kill me. What else happened? As soon as I turned the right, made the right turn on the couch, I stopped in my tracks, couldn't move, fell against the wall. This thing shot up in my chest and dropped me right there in my hallway. And I'm like, I didn't have no feeling of anything. I had no feeling of possessing anybody. I just could see out my eyes, and I could see the TV, the bottom of the TV. And the only thing in my head, I'm thinking, I'm done. Whatever just hit me, this is the end of my life. I'm dying. I'm gonna die right here. Blank out. 5 minutes later, I'm able to push myself up. I get up, go up in the bed, and I'm just thinking, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening to me. And that's it. I don't even want to talk no more.
Well, at that point, when you went to wherever you went, what was it like? I mean, what happened? Because you said you went there for like hours, but it was only seconds in our time. But what?
Right. I don't know if you've ever heard me explain what happens when the process. Have you heard that?
Nah, I haven't.
Put it on my wrist.
Okay.
It hurts really bad for about 2 seconds when the needles penetrate your skin, because they're going right into the nervous system of your arm. Okay, so it hurts really, really bad for just a little more than maybe a second and a half, and then it gets frozen cold. And at that point, once it freezes up and it's really, really cold and tight around your wrist, there isn't any more pain because they're like frozen. And at that point, I start to feel like there's a kind of a stimulation inside of my body, almost like a vibration that's happening deep inside of me.
Okay.
And then all at once it starts to get stronger and stronger and stronger to where it almost feels like I'm having a heart attack. The pressure in my chest is so strong and my heart is pounding so much that the only thing I can even closely resemble is what it must feel like to have a massive coronary attack.
Okay.
At that point, my vision starts to fade, starts to become dimmer, almost like becoming tunnel vision, where everything starts to get fuzzy and darker. And it becomes darker and darker, where all I can see in my mind, the only thing I can see is this long, what looks like a tunnel, with a little tiny dim white light at the other end. But my vision is almost totally cut off. And then all of a sudden, it starts to go the other way, but it's not really fast. In other words, it takes, I think in actual time, from the time that my vision is clear until it's really, really, really dark and dim, almost where I can't see it all, it feels like about 10 or 15 seconds.
Okay.
And then this little light at the end of my sight becomes larger and larger and larger, and my sight starts to become clear. And at that moment, I realize I'm in this really, really big, all-white room.
Tell me about death of the physical.
Death of the physical is just basically your body finally expiring, and it goes back to ashes, dust, earth. It goes back to the earth. The body is just a vessel for the spiritual component of what you truly are.
You taught me a lot, Chief. Nice place you got here.
No. Nice place you got here.
Me?
Sure, you're making all of this. What do you mean by you anyway? Are you your arm or your leg?
Hardly.
Really? If you lost all your limbs, wouldn't you still be you?
I'd still be me.
So what does it mean?
My brain, I suppose.
Your brain. Your brain is a body part. Like your fingernail or your heart. Why is that the part that's you?
Because sort of a voice in my head, the part of me that thinks, that feels, that is aware that I exist at all.
This is just a suit. This body is just a suit. A lot of people in the human construct have actually been programmed or conditioned or brainwashed to believe that this body is the real you, and it's not. What you are is the spiritual being. What you are is the spiritual being. Inside a physical construct or a physical vessel or vehicle. That's what they were trying to illustrate in that movie, The Matrix. It was Matrix trilogy. That's what they were trying to illustrate. That's why Morpheus was saying certain things in real life. Is that where you're breathing?
Too fast. Do you believe that my being stronger or faster has anything to do with my muscles in this place? You think that's air you're breathing now?
Are you really breathing or is your mind making you think you're breathing here? You're inside a computer program, dude. How can our muscles have anything to do with anything in here? The greatest muscle is the mind. That's the point he was trying to make in that movie. He was talking about the mind. And the mind is the doorway to the source. And that's what they don't want you to know about. So that's the point of it. That's the main point I want to make is you're basically in a biological suit. That's a the spiritual components of what you are. You are a part of the source. You're not separated from the source. You are a part of it. We've been programmed, conditioned to believe that the source, or God, the creative source of all existence, is something different from us. And it's never we are a part of that. We are a small, minute part of that entirety, or that infinity. We are a part of it. And that's one of the greatest secrets on earth.
Have you ever heard of astral projection?
Yes, is it out-of-body experience or something?
Well, I like to call them travelers. You see, these are people with the ability to leave their physical body. He is a very accomplished astral projector. He's been doing it for a long time.
Fear of it because I was raised. You've never heard of it. I would expect you to be scared. I would expect you to be scared to even talk about something like that. But for me to come up through my early teens talking about this stuff with my uncles and brother, when it started hitting me in my teenage years, when I started going through those states and traveling and stuff, I was already prepared for it, and that was just through education, you know. But I remember I used to tell people, I said, man, it's something the government ain't telling me. They're never gonna tell me this because everybody knew that. If everybody knew that I ain't talking about belief, man. I'm talking about actually knowing and experiencing the fact that you can step out of your body. It will be a revolt. It will be a revolt. People will not be afraid of that. And they will go up against the government. And they will go up against the oppressor. And people will be free. And that's why they don't want to talk about stuff like astral projection. And if they do talk about it, they're going to do it in a way that's scared the living crap out of you and you'll never want to try it. They got it on lock.
How can you see only existence beyond that?
Alright, when I was 15, I had an experience. I was laying in the bed, I was sick. I was on my stomach. And I woke up. I couldn't move. I was on for my mom. I could hear my mother in the room. She was talking on the phone. So I was saying, Mom, help. I can't move. I couldn't move. I was screaming for her. I was like, I know she can hear me, man. I could hear myself yelling. It was like loud. My mother just steadily kept talking. I'm like, I know she's not ignoring. I know she can hear me. And I was like, this must be what, my brother's talking about. This must be the first stage of projection. So I just sat there for about, it seemed like forever, but it was like about 10 minutes. I was stuck. And my eyes were open. It seemed like they were open. And I could see the room. I couldn't turn my head though. And then my room just faded away. I could still feel myself on the bed. But then my sight changed. Everything changed. Everything in my vision changed. And I didn't see the room anymore. I saw something different. I saw light elsewhere. And I was just sitting there looking at it. While I'm seeing it, I can hear my mother in the room. I can feel myself laying in the bed. But I'm seeing something totally different. That was my first experience with astral projection. The second experience was, I'll never forget this. I had a buddy of mine who used to rap. He used to think he could rap anyways. He used to.
Everybody wants to be a rapper.
Yeah, everybody wants to be a rapper, right? But this dude, he would be coming off the top of his head and stuff, and it would be funny, so I kind of liked it. I liked to hang out with him. So he used to make tapes. So he made a lot of tapes, and I would listen to the tapes. I think it was funny. So I come home and I work at night. So I would come home, I get home at 7:30, quarter to 8. First thing I do is hit the bed. And I might turn the tape on and laugh and go to sleep. There's one particular day, I was listening to the tape, I'm laying on my bed, I'm going to sleep. There was something he said that was funny. So I remember I reached up over my shoulder, I took my right hand over my left shoulder, and the tape player, I had like, on my bed, it was like a little, I don't even know what you call it. You ever seen a water bed, that headboard that has that part right here? Yeah, right there, the tape player was right there. So when I reached over, I hit the button and the tape kept playing. So then I was like, man, I always stop that, dude. Because I could hear the click, I could feel the little notches on the button. You ever seen them old tapes where they got these little notches that go across each button? Like in a row. Just like this. They go just like this pattern, it's just like that. Each button. But they sticking up. I could feel everything. I was hitting the button. I was like, man, I know this play button. Because I was trying to, if it was playing, I was hitting the rewind button on the right of the play button. I was like, I know this the rewind button. So I hit that button. I was pushing it. I could feel it. I was just doing like this. Feel it. Then I was like, man, I'm gonna hit the get button. I went down the whole 6 buttons on the top tape there. I went down every button. And I could hear every button click, every button went down, everything. And the tape just kept playing, he just kept rapping. So I opened my eyes and I see my hand coming across my face, but it wasn't the physical, it was the spiritual hand. So I was like, damn! This is what I'm saying in the bed, I'm like, damn! I did like this. I was like looking at it, I started laughing, and I was like, I can't believe this. Then this was laying next to my torso. So I looked down and I see this arm on the bed, right? So I just lifted my arm up and it came out of my physical arm. And I was doing like this. I was like, I can't believe this, yo. I was playing with my hands, I was feeling, and it was real faint, but you could see. This is the example I give. There was a cartoon in the 80s called Casper Friendly Ghost. You ever heard of that? You remember how that ghost was? Exactly. The outline, everything, it was just an outline. It was an outline of everything. And I was rubbing my hands together, and I was like, if this was dark, I wondered if this was light. But I was like squeezing my hands, I was like making little gestures and stuff, I was doing like this. I was like, I can't believe this. So then, the last thing I did, I bust out laughing, then I sat up in my physical. I got my phone call, I was like, man, I can't believe it just happened. Tell me, I'm like, that's it, that's a done deal. I know that. I know. Once you have the experience, I'm saying, once you have the experience, it motivates you. You take on a whole new perspective of existence in life. So that's how I know I'm going to survive what they call death. But this body's going to drop out. But once you have that experience, you become almost fearless in your pursuits of anything. And you see how the media, you see how the government don't want everybody to know that. Because then you can't control people. You can't control them. Like, if all the masses knew this type of information, the whole world would change. They will force the monetary system out of existence and make everything. As a kid, I used to always say that. I'm going to go right back. I used to always say, what if everything was free? Why isn't everything? Why do I got to pay for water? It goes through the stream down at the creek. It's free. Why do we got to pay for this stuff? Because somebody's deliberately instilling that in the people to keep us as basically slaves to a system, to a structure that keeps somebody up top and keeps the little man on the bottom. And that little man is actually promoting the power structure of the elites. We're actually feeding and fueling their position. That's why they won't tell you about what you truly are. And that's why they got to keep this religion in there, keep you thinking, better be good, because the big guys say they want somebody out here. You know what I'm saying? What if that whole belief system wasn't really what they claim? And that's why I felt the need to start dealing with that alien question. Because once you get involved with smell extraterrestrial beings that have been in this billions of years, and they come down here and they talk to people and we're like, we don't even know what you're talking about. You're talking about the church. What are you talking about? We can't relate that we've been around for all this. That stuff is new to y'all. Y'all just found out about that, 6,000 years ago? And you trying to tell me about your belief in your tour. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the real reasons why I wanted to get into that, because once they go on TV and talk about new man aliens, somebody gonna have enough sense to say, what church they go to? What is it like on their planet?
They have spiritual beliefs.
Right.
Do they believe in God? Like, does their God look like our God?
They do believe in a supreme force in existence that they can't even put their hands on. They've talked about that stuff. You read a lot of research, a lot of the content, they will say, yeah, they talk about something too that's been around, but and they can't even get a grasp on it, but it has to be something intelligent. We just commercialize it for our system and call it this, and this. Christianity, Judaism, Islam, you know what I'm saying? We just put names on this stuff and we commercialize it and package it when we go to church and put money into a pot. Everything is about money, economy. Everything is about coming out of that pocket, maintain that slave mentality. And not necessarily talking about the slaves from Africa, I'm talking about humans for a system that's in control of everybody on the earth. It's not, I don't even involve myself in the black and white issue anymore. what happened 40 years ago. I can't even relate to that stuff. No, I don't even want to hear that stuff anymore. That was a part of my upbringing. That was a part of my evolution as a person. I am the person I am today because I've learned much, much more than this. I'm not stuck in that loop from 1990. People still talk about that, but that's how I know I survived death, through the projection of the astral body. And I can go into more experiences concerning astral projection if you ask me, but we can get into that, on another day.
Am I?
Basically been the pursuit of knowledge and things that people are scared to talk about. I wasn't your ordinary child growing up in the urban city or the ghetto or whatever, so my pursuits were different from all my peers. While they were playing basketball, playing football, even boxing, I wasn't thinking about none of that. I was thinking about life after death. I was thinking about ghosts. I was thinking about stuff that was beyond the norm. So, from an early age on, I was surrounded by people in my immediate family who, that's basically all they talked about. When we would socialize in the living room, my mother, my father, my brother, and me, those were the conversations we had. We didn't talk too much about the latest singer, Beyonce or Diana Ross or whoever the hell was out at that time. We didn't care about none of that. Or they didn't care about none of it, and my interests were peaked from them talking, okay? And that's all they talked about. That's all they talked about. My mom had experience with ghosts. Her side of the family had experience with ghosts in the house. My dad had his stories, and my brother had his stories about floating above his bed at night, walking around the house at night. People being able to see him, and he could see them, and he was talking to people that he said they were dead.
Driving, I'm speeding, I feel like I'm dreaming. I'm thinking, I'm drinking, it's crazy. Funeral, my sister is gone. The dial's past 80, it's hazy. I can't see straight on this freeway, no seatbelt on. I'm bugging. What's ahead? I see something. I can't tell if it's going or coming. Suddenly, I see a light and hear a horn. It's headed straight for my face. I try to smash on the brakes. It was too late. Was this my fate? I went through the windshield, but experienced it from the backseat. I watched my body go through. Then flames blew. I felt the warm beam of light. Next thing you know, we both swimming through space. They showed me ancient Kemet. They existed this place. At peace, I saw the Canaanites. Warm flames of light. The ancient Hittites. A place with 12 suns that lit up the night. A voice said, welcome. My vision got bright.
So I grew up in a family like that. So imagine a child coming up in the 70s and the 80s. And that's what he's hearing. That's what I was hearing all my life. So that is what I was raised on. That's what I was raised on. And it never stopped. The information that I pursued, it continually progressed. And I wanted proof. I didn't want to just hear stuff and believe it. I didn't want to just hear stuff and believe it. I wanted actual proof. I wanted to be able to say, I know that that is a fact. I know it's a fact because I had the experience. That's basically my main objective. To find out. Number one, I was scared as hell when I was told about, as a little kid, and your mother and father gonna tell you you're gonna die one day. What am I supposed to think? It's like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm gonna be sitting in a box forever. That was like, that thought was so scared, terrifying. That terrified me. That thought was so terrifying. So I was like, I gotta find out about this. I gotta find out what's gonna happen when I die. Because I'm gonna die, I'm not gonna live forever, so I'm gonna die. I want to find out what's gonna go on after that. So, that's basically been my theme in life. To find out where am I going to go after I leave this stage of existence, So that's basically been me. I sought many different topics that were beyond the norm. I sought those out and read on them and researched them. And I would come to my own conclusion on things like whether I thought it was true or not. And the funny thing is, the wilder the story is, the more I would be interested in researching it. Because the stuff that I've been through, the if I talked about it, people would think it was the most insanest thing that they've ever heard in their life, and I know it's a fact. So when I hear a crazy story, I'm like, I'm not going to doubt it. I'm going to hear them out, and then I make my own judgments. And you know, if I have any questions, I will reach out to that person and talk to them. That's how I am. I don't take other people's word for anything. I step to the source and I talk to the source, and I'm gonna base whatever I think concerning their story on how I feel, the way they're coming to me and the way that they're telling me the story. You know, I might scrutinize it, but if I think something's possible, and I don't put nothing past anything in the stuff I say. If I think something's possible, I'm gonna go for it. If I think it's worth it, I'm gonna go for it. And that's just how I've been. I'm talking about not just, you know, dealing with the paranormal issues, the supernatural experiences, and spirituality. I'm talking about just everyday things like gymnastics. That was something that I just said I wanted to take gymnastics. So we go to PG County Gym. There's a gymnastics club in PG County. I think it was like in Laurel, Beltsville. We go out there. The next thing I know, they put me on Class A team. It was like, I think it was 3 or 4 classes. Class A was the top 10. That was the top 10. That was the team that would be trying out for the Olympics. They put me on the top 10 the first week. It was like nothing. That's just been my life. Like whatever it was I pursued, I was able to kind of like get in with the top or the elites. I got into boxing and I just went lifting. I went to world class. And I had no training. It was all in me. I just said, nobody's gonna stop me from doing it. So I did what I wanted to do, and that's been my life. Whatever it was I pursued, I was able to get to a point in that endeavor where people could say, I can't believe you did that. Anything I get involved, that's basically been my life. So, you know, with this topic, you know, dealing with the 2 documentaries I did, that topic, it's sort of like when they say curiosity can kill the cat. Well, I'm like in a predicament like that right now. I'm finding out that you know, and the other statement, what is it? Be careful. I told somebody this the other day, be careful what you wish for, because it might just happen. You don't know what that might entail, you know. That's been my life. That's been my life. Stuff that I've wished for, it came to fruition and it manifested right in my face. You know, when stuff keeps happening and I started stepping on toes and people started, you know, coming out the woodworks, contacting me, trying to talk to me and stuff and trying to get close to me. I shy a lot of people away because I don't trust too many people. I don't know, I think maybe there's probably more I can say about, you know, what my life has been. It's been so much, it's really hard to kind of like wrap it up right now. We're doing this off the top of the head, we keep the camera down, we turn it on, hit record, so I didn't have no time to prepare for this. I'm just talking to you because there's some stuff I got to get out there. I feel like I have a need to get this stuff out before something happens.
As a child, how did you feel being here?
I felt like I was not from here. I felt like I was not a part of the system. I felt like the system was stupid. I used to always ask the question, why do we have to pay for stuff? Why can't everything just be free?
I wish.
You know what I'm saying? That was the type of stuff I was thinking. I was like, why are you pulling something out of your pocket? It's paying for that. When that stuff is free, it comes up out of the ground. Like grape juice. That was like one of my favorites. Grape juice. Grape juice. Something else. I think it was grape juice and it was like orange juice. Those are my 2 favorite drinks. And I'm like, that stuff is free. It grows on trees. You know, once I figured out they get up from grapes and see the grapes pour in the bottom of the drink, I think it's free. Why are we paying for stuff that grows free? This stuff grows free out of the ground. So what I felt like I was not a part of the system. I felt like I had nothing to do with the system. I just felt so out of place. I was down here looking around, looking at people. As a kid, I remember I was a little kid, I hold my mom's hand, I was looking at people like they was like exhibits, man, like zoo exhibits. My mom be walking me through DC, and I'd be looking around like I'm in a circus, yo. I'm like looking like, what's going on down here? And what's that about? You know, and just, I don't know, I just totally felt out of place. I felt totally out of place. And, you know, things would happen to me, weird things, but when they would first happen to me, somehow I knew what it was. You know, it was like I had like an instinct to know what something was, but I never heard of it or I never seen it before. Somebody can talk to me and say things to me and I know what they're talking about, but I never heard the word before. I'm pretty sure other people do that. They might not talk about it. But to me, stuff like that stayed in my mind. I was like, how could I know what that word means? I never heard that word and I never looked it up. I never knew. Nobody told me what that meant. But for some reason, I just know what you mean. You You know, that's like, it seemed like it went beyond, a lot of things, a lot of my intuition went beyond education and schooling, the stuff that that was programmed inside, that came with me when I came out from mom's. You know? Being as a kid, I mean, like, I had friends that the stuff that interested me didn't interest me. I was a nature child, nature kid. Most of the people wanted to go downtown for the parties. I wanted to go in the woods and run through the creek. That's for me. And I might not look like that, but that was me. That was me. That was me. I went to camp. My mom and dad sent me and my brother to camp up in New Hampshire. And that was like a rarity for like going up, you know, where I came from, PG County, that was a rarity to see a black family send their kid to summer camp way up somewhere in New Hampshire, Gilmanton Island, where it was Camp Friday. You know, so I was a nature child. I was riding horseback, shooting arrows, you know, shooting bow and arrows, catching frogs, and canoeing through the fucking swamp. Just, you know, the stuff that the average ordinary child would not even consider today, you know, to pursue. That was me. That's my nature, man. That's just my nature. My nature is in the flow with the vibe of the earth.
What did you expect from fellow human beings?
I expected fellow human beings to be united on one spiritual front. I expected human beings to be compassionate to each other. I didn't expect to be in a world where people are selfish and they don't give a shit about nobody but themselves. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that from none of this, man. I never thought that I would even incarnate into a system like this. I thought everybody was equal. That's what I thought. I thought everybody was. I thought everybody would extend openly their hand to each other and bring, you know, harmony. I never thought I would be able to plan and walk by people in the street and they don't say nothing to each other. When you speak to people, they don't speak to each other. I never thought I would be involved with nothing like that. I never expected war. I never expected bloodshed. I never expected stealing from other countries. I never expected tyranny, colonialism. What do you call it when you invade somebody's country and take over? Colonization? I never expected none of that. I never expected to see any of this stuff. I thought the whole world would be united on one spiritual front and everybody would be under the same umbrella of what they call the collective consciousness or the creative force in the universe, which has been commercialized and now called God. I figured if everybody was truly about some type of belief system where they believe in some source that's all-powerful, all-knowing, and was responsible for putting us here, I figured we would all be under that same umbrella, no matter what name you called it. To be down here and to see people fighting over the gods, to me, it's like something out of a cartoon. I never thought I would be on a planet like that. I never thought I would be down here in the middle of this. I just thought everything would be cool. I didn't think I had to worry about, you know, walking around the house and getting bullied and getting shot. I never thought doing this. I don't even know how to relate to it. just thinking, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening to me. And that's it. I don't even want to talk anymore.